Hey, good morning. We're holding now, we're still in the middle of the Maamer Basi Ligani, Tashin Chof Daled, Ois Hey. So the Rebbe says like this, V'hine in Isbar Le'il, we started this, but we'll just do a little chazara. In Isbar Le'il, we explained, Sham Shoch Lamata Mato, this Hamshoch, we were saying that Orein Seif is Lamaila Adin Kates, or Lamata Adin Tachlis. So this Hamshoch of Orein Seif, is Kolel is Gama in Yonim Shem Lamata Maklipis. Also, it's Kolel also the ideas of lower than Klippis. Tahaina, what does that mean? Misha Ever Ratzon Habeirei, somebody who's Ever on the Ebershter's Ratzon. Even over there, also Orein Seif is also there. Zel Mashra Mamshach Ba'Maimer, and this is what it's the Friedrich Rebbe's Mamshach in the Maimer. Anois Yedalid Ukumesh Kosov. And like David Melech writes, if I'm going to soar to the heaven, you're over there. And if I'm going to go down in the Sha'el, Hineka, you're also there. Now, Shaharei, Inyan HaSha'el, HaSha'el, Hu Ha'inish, La'evir Ritzaini. And we're saying, Sha'el, what does that mean? It means the people that are over the Ratzon of Hashem. And like we said in Yud Gimel, that's why Sha'el was created on Monday. That's when Machlekes was created. So Sha'el is referring to those who are over the Ratzon of Hashem. This is what David HaMelech writes. And the Friedrich Rebbe explains Shegam Sham Yeshlem Erin Seif, that even the Chiddush is that even Vatzia Sha'el Hineko, that even in people that are over the Ratzon of Hashem, even over there you have Erin Seif. So he says like this, what's this idea? Like the middle of it explains. In Shar Tzitzis, Masha Kosovik, Esek Shemayim, Vatzir She'el, Shneim Yachad. Together. What does that mean? Shekeshem Shem Esek Shemayim Shamato. Just like when you soar up to heaven, you're there. K'maykin, Atzir She'el Hineko, Atamamish, K'maysh Nimsa B'Shemayim. That the Ebershter is the same way he is up there, he's also down over there. Like he says in Yudaleh, that just like Orein Seif is the Maila Adin Kate, so the Mata Adin Tachlis, so too in Avedis Hashem, there's a matzav that a person is Esek Shemayim Shamata, Al Derech the Maila Adin Kate, and there's a matzav that a person is Hatzir Shelineko, the Mata Adin Tachlis. So this is what the Mitzvah Rebbe explains. Like the Mitzvah Rebbe explains over there, that you have this idea of Zelu Mazeh Asalikim. Therefore, Yishem Shebetachas Ha'ilut Kedusha, Shezo Inyan Karned Re'emim Beruchnis. So just like you have the ultimate level of Kedusha, which is the idea of, this is the Karned Re'emim Beruchnis, Yeshem Inyan Cyrus Hazak and Dilamayla. You have the idea of the Cyrus, the hairs of the beard, Dilamayla. Like he brings down from a pasuk in Daniel, va'atik yemin yasiv levushe kitlag chiver useir reisha kamik noko shunin atalis v'chuti hatzitzis. So what does that mean? What is this idea? Shezeu meir al geidol v'ha'ile ha'ir shlemayla. This shows on the greatness of this light. Shezeu emek reim, which is very, very deep. Because this light is so high, it's impossible to receive it only through different contractions and different concealments. This is the tzimtzum that comes through the skull. Then you could have the way that then you could have the hair grow. So just like that works, begashmius in the kumaykin gambu lumazeh, so too this works to lumazeh. Shebesara achidan hainu shemokim sham shachas adikisi b'tzimtzim. So when you have that the amshach of godliness comes in a way of tzimtzum, hinikasha yeshne tzimtzum neisav shezeu inyan asyrus. When you have an additional tzimtzum, which that's the idea of the hair. So then it's possible, because you have so much tzimtzumim, so possible, for the ulumazah to get a hold of it. Okay. This is what we find. We find that the hair of a woman, the Gemara says, is erva, it's nakedness. However, by a nazir, what does it say? It says ksiv kodeshia gadol pera seresh. It says that the hair is holy. So what does it mean? Is hair erva or is it not? And by the woman, ser isha is erva. And by the nazir, what does it say? Gadol kodeshia. It's holy. Behind knows what does that mean? The fish Cyrus the Nazir and Pchinas Cyrus the Kedusha. So the Cyrus of Nazir, that's the level of you have Cyrus the Kedusha. Masha Enkin Kasher Cyrus Hebemokim Sheish Tzimtzum V'Dinim. Masha Enkin, when you have the Cyrus in a place that there's Tzimtzumim and there's laws, there's Tzimtzumim there. So then Azenim Shechem Hem Yenikad L'Umazeh. Then it's possible to have the L'Umazeh take a hold of it. Shazo Oimik Tachas. This is the idea of Sheil. Okay, so that's what, who explains this? This is the, this is what the Rebbe is explaining, the idea of, we're saying that when you have Tzimtzumim, you can have the Nika of L'Umazeh, and that's what you find, that Api Halacha, Ser Isha's Erva, Mashenki Nazir, it's Kodesh, because the Nazir, that comes from the level of Cyrus to Kedusha. Mashenki Cyrus, where it comes with Tzimtzum, then it's shaykh to have the unique L'Umazeh. Chalzan Emar. Now, what does he say? Vatzia Sheli Neko. Kfisha Amar Yeina Mi Betan She'el Shavasi. Hainu, what does that mean? Shigam Shivasi. What does it mean? Mi Betan She'el, from my stomach, I ask Shivasi, I daven. What does that mean? That even when he's in the she'el, he recognizes godliness. The same reason. Yeah. Let's look in Tezvav for a second. Elashina she'el eitzel yena haya inyan bilti rotzi shenasa al yodei. Ba'adarab inyan zel yimitzat tziva Hashem. This is a story of Yena when the whale swallowed him up and the fish swallowed him up. So this is what he asked the Eibishter.
The source of that 86 or 87 is Yena.
Right. So that's the pasuk over here. So the Rebbe explains in Tezvav that when Yena was asking, that wasn't something built to dotzi. That was because the fish swallowed him up in order that he shouldn't drown. So it's not such a chiddush that even when he's in she'el, he recognizes Hashem. So it's even when a person is in the she'el through sin, Hashem is still here. Okay, back in the Panim. Even more so, like it says in Shmuel, made it she'el, he goes down like she'el, v'yal, and then he goes up. The whole Yerid is all for a aliyah. V'yal, he lefi erech ha'yeridah made it. And the aliyah is the fi erech, how much he goes down. I know. Shema enish, the made it she'el, gufa moving, tachas ha'ilah, shnas al yodei. That through the punishment of going down, the she'el, he understands the ilay. Shara yedua, sha'inish ha'teira einish l'shem einish ba'al b'chas v'shalom. Whenever the teira has the idea of punishment, it's not just for the sake of punishment. Teira doesn't punish because teira is just stam giving you einish because the teira is upset. Shara teira is chesed. We know that the teira is the teira of kindness. If so, gam ha'inish ha'beteira hu einish shel chesed. So even the punishment of teira is also chesed. Shetachlisehu shistakim v'yachzil mutav. The whole purpose of einish and teira is that a person should do tshuva and go back to good. And this is the advantage. This is the ilay shbishvil kedai afilu ha'inyan demeded she'el shizel l'mata yesem inyan aklibe kanal. Maamar Azal, it says mutav d'ladayne v'lesel la'amah b'da'asi. So Elazar ben Dodaya says that he should be judged and let him go into the Gemara says let him be judged and let him go into to Gan Eden The kivin shezoyin didn't kosher b'yaser. Since this is very difficult, so it's understood the tainug and the good that comes from it. Now, what's the Rebbe trying to bring out? Because the move on shafil lamata mata b'yaser ad la'odam apeshea upeshea betachlis shebekei achatera omra dvar halacha shuha bechatera hainu. So what's the chiddush? What's the Frierdiker Rebbe's chiddush? That even when a person is so down, so low, that he's negligent, he's a pesheya betachlis, and he's saying something in dvar halacha which is hepech teira, and through this inyan kedusha brings meisiv kayach to the lumazeh. So the chiddush is in igam sham yeshnei hamshachah erin seif. Even over there you have the hamshachah of erin seif shenimshach lamata adin tachlis, which comes down into the lowest of the world. Okay, so now he says like this. So just to make a kitzer, we explained in Isay that this hamshacha of the Maila Adin case, Lamata Adin Tachlis, the chiddush is that even goes down to somebody who's over the Ratzon of Hashem. And this is what it means in Mesach Shemayim Shamatu Vatzir She'eli Neko, that even if somebody who's over the Ratzon of Hashem, even over there, Aaron Seif is there. And he explains from the Mittel Rebbe that this Mesach Shemayim Vatzir She'eli Neko together, that just like Mesach Shemayim Shamatu, you're there, so too, down over here, so too, Vatzir She'eli Neko, you're also there. And he explains, Barucha, that you have this idea of Zelu Mazeh Asalikim, and just like you have the Tachlis Ha'ilah of Kedusha, the idea of Karni De'enim Beruchnius, you have the idea of the Cyrus Hazakan de Lamaila, which shows on the great light of Eid. So because it's so great, it could only come down through Tzimtzumim. This is the Tzimtzum of the skull, and through that, once you have this, the idea of the Gulgelis, then you could have Tzmicha Cyrus. So too, Lu'umazeh, that when you have Hamshachas of the Kis B'Tzimtzum, so when you have an additional Tzimtzum of Cyrus, then it's shaykh to have a Tfisa de Lu'umazeh, Tfisa Yinuka Lu'umazeh. And that's what you find up Halacha, that Sa'ar B'Isha is a Erva. Masha'en came by a Nazir, it's Kaddish. Because Cyrus, the Nazir, that comes from the level of Cyrus the Kedusha. Masha'en came, the Cyrus of a woman, that is with Tzimtzumim and Dinim, so then it's shaykh to have the idea of Yinika of Lu'umazeh. And that's the idea of She'el. So that's what we're saying, V'atzia She'el Hineko, like Yena says, a bet in She'el Shavasi, that even when he's in the She'el, he dehert Elikus. And like the Rebbe says in Tezvav, he brings in the Hara over there, that Yena wasn't such a Chiddush because he needed to get out. He couldn't drown, otherwise he would drown. So the chiddush is that even when a person brought himself to this level through the chait, nevertheless he dehert that's frana ebishter, and he dehers the elikus. This is what it means, made it she'il v'yal, that even the whole mated is made she'il is v'yal is a yidil l'tzedek aliyah, and the whole punishment is all for his good, like chesed. That even einish and teda is chesed. In order to cleanse yourself and to get to a higher level, and this is the chiddush that even when somebody's a pesheya betachlis, that he has such a that he says something in teda which is hepech halacha, even over there you have the amshachas erin seif, which is nimshach lamata adin tachlis. So he says like this. He says, "Vav mamshach ba'maimer," and the Frierdiker Rebbe is mamshach in the maimer. Recall zahu lefi shaha'or who ain't safe be'etzim. How is this possible? Because this or is ain't safe be'etzim. It's an essential ain't safe. Okay, and therefore ain't safe gam ken lispashtusa. So since this or is ain't safe be'etzim, so too it's also ain't safe in the way it's mispashet. V'ribi ha'madreges v'ishtalshlos adamata mata mamish. It comes through many different madregas and many say the ishtalshlos till it comes down over here. Chomokim shu nimshach mispashet einay bi spilus v'ishtanis klal, and any time that it comes down and it's mispashet, it doesn't have any hispilus, it doesn't change at all. And the Rebbe brings an example, the ene kedimyan haneshama v'haguf. It's not like the example of a neshama in a body. The neshama hare mispa'eles v'mikri haguf. When the neshama comes down into the body, it's affected by the body. However, the neshama that comes down into the Eid that comes down, and it's mechaya mahava. Like we brought the diyukim of what's the idea of mechaya mahava. It's not mispal at all. This Eid doesn't change at all just because it's mechaya mahava anything. Now, you can have a shina in the actual light through it being clothed. V'hainu, mashi slapshus pale is a shina. Hurak ba'chayish shebepchinas keach. So this, that any type of hislapshus in clothing can be pale, any shina that's only in the chayis of keach, shebepchinas keach. The chayis u'pchinas keach u'ma'akelim debiyah. It's known that the chayis, this level of keach, comes from the kelim of biyah. This is from the lower levels of bria, yitzir, and asiyah. The kelim debiyah harihu b'pchinas mitzias. So the levels of biyah, in other words, after atzilus, that is the level of mitzias. Okay, the Yisib, Begeres HaKedesh now, it explains in the Begeres HaKedesh, Simichov, the Eishes HaYesh, where does Yesh start? That's Kelim Debiyah. Umishum Zeh, Shayach Bahem, Hashine V'Hispilus. That's why it's Shayach to have some sort of Hispilus. Avo Be'era Mechaye, Ein Be'shum Shine V'Hispilus Klal. Ad Kan L'Shem. So the Friedrich Rebbe explains that why is it that Ein Seif can come down the Mata Ad in Tachlis and not be affected, be the same Eid, because the Eid is Ein Seif Be'etzem. And since it's Ein Seif Be'etzem, these are very lofty words, but we'll just touch up, and then the Rebbe is going to explain, we'll learn tomorrow about the idea of this. But the Eid is Ein Seif Be'etzem, and therefore, also it's Ein Seif the way it's mispashet. And even once it's mispashet and it comes down to the lowest levels, it's not affected at all. It's not like when a neshama comes into a guf, that the guf is the neshama is mispelas from mikra guf. Rather, when the area of the key is mechayim mahava, it doesn't change at all. We know that there could be a shin in the air, so that's in the level of biyah. When it comes to atzilus, or when it comes to this level of ein seif betzem, there's no shin of yispalas. And like the famous mashal that's brought down in the Chassidus many times, it's brought down many times in the Likutei Sichos, the difference between Yosef and the brothers, Yosef and the Shvatim. So what was the essential machlekes between the brothers? It wasn't like a babyish fight. Oh, the father favored you over us, so now we're going to be upset at you. It was a fight in ideology. It was a fight in Avodas Hashem. The brothers felt it's not shaykh to be Iber Gemen to the Eibishter and be in the Welt at the same time. So that's why they were Re'etzain. That's why they were shepherds, because they felt that the Welt is going to bother them. It's going to stare in their Aveda. Why? Because they were the neshama of Biyah. Since they're the neshama, since they came from the level of Biyah, and Biyah there could be mispal, right? That we brought down that when you have Yislapshus through the level of Biyah, that can have a change. So they felt that by them being in the Welt, it's going to change. It's going to affect their level. Mashenkin Yosef was the level of Atzilos, so Yosef was able to be in the Welt, in Mitzrayim, and in Ervas Arz, and still in Betzitka, he was still able to be the Yosef Asadik in Mitzrayim, because Atzilos does not get affected. That's all the mashal over here, that once you have the level of, the Ein Seif is much higher. Once you have this level of Ein Seif, it's like a Yosef that doesn't get affected by where it is. All right, Mitzvah Shem tomorrow, we'll continue bringing Bazah.